Hello everyone, welcome to the TeeBee's Adventures. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Okay, I'm gonna check a couple of things just in case to make sure that everything's working. Ah, okay. So, I'm gonna click share. And boom. Now my coworkers should be able to see me. Alright, well, I don't know if anyone is here, so I'm just gonna get started. So I have here these. Actually, let me pull up the Procreate file first. Because, well, let's start by telling you guys what all of this is. So I am the lead animator for TeeBee's Adventures, this project being created by this wonderful nonprofit, Clouded Mentalities. It's about mental health, disability awareness, being a kid, slice of life. It's wonderful, and I'm honored to be working on it. And it's also going to be a children's book. So what we're doing first, before we start animating it, is we're going to be making the children's book illustrations. So I made this sketch in Procreate. I don't know if this is upside down or not for you guys. Maybe I should do it like this. Whatever. It'll be fine. Even if it's upside down, it'll be fine. And then I printed it out on all of these quadrants because I have a really big piece of paper. And I'm going to set this up so that everything is in its place. That'll work. And I've got this, I'll do that later. I've got this light table that I can use to trace it onto my watercolor paper. This stream is not sponsored by Canson Artist Supplies. But let's get a nice big piece of watercolor paper. That looks good to me. And let's get this all set up so that everyone is in their place. Oh, it looks like it turned out a little bit big. That's okay. I can work with this. We still know the basic composition here. Okay, so sometimes when you're doing art, things don't go exactly as planned, and that's okay. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to recreate it. One moment while I set up my... Can you guys still see all this okay? I'm going to tilt it down a bit. There we go. You should still be able to see most of the things. Oh, that looks like it's not bright enough. Let me turn up the brightness of my lamp. Maybe if I swap to... Yeah. Good enough, I think. Okay. Now I'm going to take out my pencil. I've got a backpack full of goodies that I love. I got it from a dumpster while I was at SCAD, actually. But not like a dumpster, but like there's, at the end of every semester, we make a trash pile, like a pile of things that are perfectly fine, but we don't want anymore. So I was able to reuse. And I washed it first. Make sure you wash things. And don't go digging in the trash without your parents' permission. I have my parents' permission. And be careful when you do. And this was a much more sanitary trash expedition. Anyway, enough about trash. Let's get on to art. I've got my favorite pencil here. It's a Sumo grip. It broke, so I pieced the pieces of the two broken pencils together to make a new, wonderful, big combined pencil. And now we are going to turn off our light table because we don't actually need to trace anything right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my image that I'm basing this image off of. And I'm going to leave it right there for you guys to see. I accidentally turned it on anyway. That looks better, I think. Okay. And let's take these out anyway because it's good to have a base for things like this. There we go. And yeah. And I'm going to be here with you guys, if anyone is here and listening, until roughly 3 p.m. because I have a few things to do at 3 p.m. Oh, we're getting, there we go. That'll work. Okay, maybe what I should do instead, thinking on the fly here, is take this, and I'm going to go into my folders, my photos folder, and find that image. No, that's not it. That's it. Okay. And I'm going to make it really bright. And I'm going to, hold on, I should turn off battery saver so this doesn't turn off randomly on me. There we go. And now I'm going to do a neat little trick. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Guided access. Start. And now, no matter how much I touch it, it won't move. So what I can do here is I can make it, oh, it's already super bright. And I'm going to turn off our lamp for a little bit, actually. And I'm going to see if I can make the, oh, I'm silly. Maybe all that was silly. You know what? I'm just going to get started. So this is the episode TeeBee Goes to the Fair with Papa. And in this episode, TeeBee's Adventures is this wonderful little show slash children's cartoon about TeeBee, who's a little kid, going on big adventures. And the first adventure that we decided to tell you guys about was when he goes to the fair with his dad, because that shows that he is a kid with trusted adults who likes doing fun things with the people that he loves. And in the fair, you have all kinds of things that you can do and explore, and his dad knows a lot about the history of the fair, and it's fun. I'm going to do some tree scribbles right here. And these are the booths where like people can get food and merchandise and like cowboy hats and all the things that you love getting when you're at the fair. I'm going to add this little happy little balloon and this nice Ferris wheel right back here. And it's off in the distance behind the trees. And there's a bird over here. My coworker Kelly, our animation and art intern, actually did the bird really well. Actually, you know what? She's already drawing that, so I'm gonna erase the bird for now. I just kind of put that there so that I have the faint little sketch lines to know where it is. And make some clouds. Nice, happy, sunny day. And maybe it's on a hill or something. Let's do that. And let's pretend that his dad is right here and TeeBee is right here. And my coworker is drawing TeeBee and his dad as well because she's awesome. But I'm just going to have this here for my own reference to know where they are in the space. Actually, I'm going to divide this into quadrants. Oh, hello, light table. So that we all know where everything, that happened again, where everything is. I have no idea if anyone's here. Oh, it looks like we had one viewer for a little while. That's nice. I have no, that might have been me actually grabbing the link. Oh well. Let's do some fun things here. So now we know everything is. This is a common trick in composition. TeeBee's here because he's short, because he's a kid. He's like 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. He's a little kid, you know, so he's little. That doesn't mean that he's not smart or that he's not able to go on adventures. It just means that he's little. He is a little guy and he loves his family. And I think I might have had like another ride here, like one of those wee kind of tall rides here. I'm gonna make that smaller. It's not important. It should be small. That doesn't mean that things that aren't important are small, because in comparison to this really tall sculpture, in this perspective, TeeBee's really big. It's just that when you're doing a composition, some things take up more space, and that means different things. Let's forget what these things look like. Maybe I should look up a reference. Let's do, and we're basing this mostly, this could be any fair you want, but we are basing this off of the North Carolina State Fair. So Carolina State Fair. And I'm gonna enter results out of frame just to make sure it's all safe for you guys. Here we go. Now we have lots of results. So, okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so I was doing it the wrong way. It's more like this, all uppity. And it's got a bit of a square structure to it. And it's got this little lane in it. And let's make our Ferris wheel big, but still small a little bit. And let's make this a bit smaller too. Little flags. It's a fair. It's like little, I don't know what color these flags are. I just see that there's flags in my reference photo right here. So those might not be flags actually, but I'm going to pretend that they are. Little, I don't think they're American flags. I think they're just like fun state fair flags. So let's make them triangular. Maybe the flags exist so that airplanes can be lit, so it can be to airplanes like, hey, we're here. Don't crash into me. And the airplanes are like, okay, I see your signal. I'm gonna not crash into you because I can see you. And everyone's like, yay. Okay. I think that's good for now on that. Ferris wheel. Let's add it. Let's give this Ferris wheel a bit of dimension, I think. Let's make it an oval and like a cylinder. And that like a bicycle wheel. How sometimes things have different dimensions. And little things, probably going out a bit more, but like little booths that people can sit in and go up to the top and be like, wow, that's amazing. I can see the whole fair. But we can only see a little bit of the fair because we're here with TeeBee and his papa, who are exploring the fair so that we can see the booths and things. And let's make some booths and things. Yes, hello, light table. I'm keeping the light table here because my desk is made out of a stool with a big piece of wood on it, because I like having things be temporary, because then it's less likely that I'll let them get messy or too messy, which is good because you need a nice clean surface for all your drawing purposes. I'm going to move this watercolor set out of the way for now because we're not watercoloring yet. There we are. I don't think I have anyone watching me right now. Oh, I do. I do have someone watching me. Yay. That's good. That's fine. Oh, that's my boss telling me, hey, good luck. Have fun on your stream. There you go. And I'm going to get back to my photo. Actually, what I might do is make this a split screen so I can look at both of them at once. So I have no idea if you guys can see this. It's probably all just white to you. Oh, I actually like that better. I just realized that everything is upside down to you. Maybe we should fix that. One moment. Time to turn this web camera around. Oh, come on. Okay. I think that works. Can you guys see everything? Oh, I forgot to turn my lamp back on. I'm going to turn it to warm because I like warm. I like warm things. There we go. Yay! I think you guys can see everything okay. Please don't fall down the Mr. Webcam. Okay. I think we're good. booth here. And I'm not going to add any props or anything to these because my coworker's like, I'm making all the characters look like they belong in this space. And I think that we want to be able to rearrange the props once they're in there, so that if we want a different booth to be a cowboy booth or to be an Oreo's booth instead of a cowboy booth, we can do that easily. And I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. Everyone likes this idea. I think I'm gonna have like another path right here so that people can go to other columns of booths. And a little sign that's like, hey, here's some other things you can do in this fair. And you're like, oh, I can do other things in this fair? And the sign's like, yeah, look at all the things. We've got animals. We've got giant food. Because farmers are really good at their jobs sometimes. And we've got more games and prizes, and maybe there's an event, like a concert or something. And you're like, oh, that sounds amazing. Let's go do that. Okay. This sign looks like it's too tall. I've worked with signs before. Let's bring the sign over here so you can see more of it. It's sticking out a little bit. That's okay. Sometimes it's nice to stick out. Then people notice you. And that's good. Sometimes. Sometimes it's okay if you don't want to stick out. It's fine. But if you're a sign, then usually you want people to notice you. So it's okay to stick out, because then you get your message across. Okay, let's make some guidelines so that we know where on the ground the sign is going to stand. We're leaving all this empty space because it's a dirt path, and that's where TeeBee and his dad Papa are going to be. And maybe there's like a big gate here, although it might be covered up by TeeBee and his dad. That's okay. Sometimes we have details that people don't end up noticing. And that's fine, because it helps the greater composition and the greater story be told a little bit better. And you can always tell people about the hidden little details later in like extra stuff. Or if you have a friend and you're like, hey, did you notice this detail? And they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't notice that detail. That sounds amazing. I like listening to directors' commentaries and stuff for this exact reason, because sometimes you'll have details that no one knows about, and that's fun. It's like a little secret between you and the people who made it. Except it's not that big a secret, because people like talking about what they make most of the time. If you're someone who makes things and you don't like talking about what you make most of the time, that's fine. You know, different people like different things. Some people want to stick out, and other people don't want to stick out, and that's fine. It's good. It's good that there's all kinds of different people in the world, because then we've got all different kinds of things that you can learn from each other. I like doing this. This is fun. Hello, light table. Maybe I should turn light table around so that I don't hit her as much. But I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. There we go. And now I'll only touch your turn on button if I want that to happen. if I want there to be light, I can press the button and you can be like, oh, you want some light now? Okay, I'll do that. And I'll be like, thank you, light table. And the light table will be like, no problem. Except it won't, because it's a light table. And not everything is animate like humans and animals are. I think you should treat things well, though. Even if a thing can't think, it's still important to treat them right, because if there is a thing that exists in the world, then it's important. I need to replace the eraser in my pencil because I ran out of eraser in my pencil. Let's see if I have an eraser replacement in my backpack. I'm looking through all the things. Oh, replacement eraser. Now this is neat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the eraser stick out a bunch. I'm going to see if I can pull it out. There we go. And I'm going to set that aside because sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of eraser. And I'm going to stick this back in. And I'm going to twist it back in. Hello, thank you. Can you go down, please? Thank you. And I'm going to make it go down as far as it can go. And then we still have a lot of leftover stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take something sharp. And if there is something sharp around here, I might have to look on my other desk. One moment. I found it. I found my X-Acto knife. You gotta be careful with these things because they're sharp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my watercolor pad, and on the back of it there's cardboard. And that's a safe place to cut on. So I'm gonna do an incision right here. And then I have this for later when it needs another refill. Put the knife in a safe place. I'm gonna put the watercolor paper in a safe place. It's on top of my scanner, don't worry about it. And I'm gonna have my eraser. Yay! And there's my references again. Let's keep going. Gotta sign up. I think the next time I do this, this time I was just worried about getting it started because I've been trying to get live streaming up and running for a while now, and it's been tricky because I have lots of things to do in my life. I am a busy grown-up artist woman. Well, not entire, but whatever. But now I've got live streaming up and running. Yay. And I think next time I do this, I'm going to tell a few more people that I'm doing this. This time I was just worried about actually getting it started than I was about making sure everyone watched. Because people can watch this later if they want. I feel like some people who care about me or maybe TeeBee's adventures or maybe just art things in general will come here and be like, huh, this sounds nice. I'm gonna have this on while I make my art. Or something like that. I like watching long videos when I make my art. Instead, this time, instead of watching long videos, I'm sitting here talking with you guys. And that's fun. Oh, I like that angle. Hello, screen. Stay on, please. Thank you. I'm going to take a sip of water because it's important to stay hydrated. Okay. All hydrated. Excuse me. Oh. Make a little hinge here. And the sign there. I'm sweating. I'm gonna grab a towel so that my sweat doesn't end up on the watercolor. Because when we're ready to start watercoloring, I'm gonna get some actual water. It's watercoloring with sweat. That sounds gross. We're not gonna do that. Whoop. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can actually tilt this forward a bit more. There we go. So we can have this right here. Yeah. I'm gonna check what time it is real quick. 12:07. We're making good time. I'm gonna make this one of those open on the side type booths. I'm gonna make these a few different sizes and shapes because booths tend to be like that. Maybe this one's rectangular instead of pointing on the top. Let's erase that pointing on the top. There we go. Now it's all rectangles. And got some babbles up here. I think this is looking good so far. I would ask you guys what you think, but I don't think there's anyone watching me right now. That's okay. I'm gonna do this regularly, I think, because I like to. I'm enjoying this, even if there's no one here yet. I think there's been a couple people here and there, but even if there's no one here yet, I enjoy doing this. So maybe in the future there'll be more people. Oh, that looks better. That's gonna be a less pointy one too. Maybe there's curtains here. Maybe it's fancy and mysterious. Maybe there's like clothes or something being sold there. I think this is probably the cowboy stand. No sign here. Maybe. I don't know. And I think there's more games and food stuff here too. And there's big clouds and nice dirt paths right here. And let's make this go out a bit more. Maybe this is deeper. And it's going off the page a bit, but that's okay. Sometimes the scene is bigger than the stuff that you see. Usually, if I were digital, I would have made this smaller or maybe changed the dimensions so that we'd have more to work with. But I think this works for now as it is. And let's erase this head because my coworker Kelly, who is amazing, is going to be drawing that instead. She's already starting sketching it, and I've seen it, and I'm like, this is good. Here's some things that you can change to make it work a little bit better, but most part, this is good. You got good shapes and good lines. And a little booths back in the background. because it's a big scene, a big fair. People doing lots of things. And it's a nice big fair. Having fun, playing games, playing out with their families and friends. There's probably spaces between the booths outside that. Okay. It's a big fun fair. Maybe I'll just bring the towel all the way over here. There I am. I think maybe it might be time to start watercolors soon. Or, well, to start the ink at least. What do you guys think? Okay. Let's put these more details first. And I'll leave it empty, maybe some hooks here, so that people can make their own, fill them out with what they want. Let's make this a little yeah. Hang it down. I'm gonna have a banana snack real quick, because I like bananas. They have good, they're sweet, and they have lots of potassium in them. My girlfriend doesn't like bananas, so that's okay. That just means there's more bananas for me. Okay. And now let's get out some pens. This is my favorite pen. It is a Fudenosuke Tombow. My girlfriend actually knows Japanese, and she would be horrified by my mispronunciation of that. So I'm going to use, this was a test set design that we didn't end up using from earlier. And we might still use it, so I'm not going to test this on the front, I'm going to test this on the back. To see if this is wet. That's wet. That's a good pen right there. There we go, that works too. Now we know these pens are good pens that are still working and don't need to be retired yet. Okay. Now, what to ink first? I think this sign is probably the most defined thing here right now. So let's ink the sign. There we go. And I'm very careful here. I'm going to be honest. Inking is my least favorite part of art making because you have to be very careful because it's permanent. And I like sketching because it's not permanent yet. You can just figure things out and it's fine. And I like coloring because you're adding all these nice pretty colors to things and you can, that's the part where it kind of comes alive. But inking is tricky. I think this is turning out well enough though so far. That's fine. I'm being quieter here because I'm focusing on making the lines good. Yay! Our sign looks good. Mostly. It's a bit wonky. I think that's fine. It's a kid's book, so things can be a little bit wonky. Maybe. And that's just the style of the thing. Maybe I should define this next thing a bit better with my sketches before I go in and ink it. But inking is also a very important step because, as you can see, my sketches are very, very messy. So inking is sort of kind of where you find the, and this is where my little bit of eraser comes in handy. It's where you find where the lines actually are and make the form come into the scene in a way that's more solid and defined and that people can understand more. And that's the purpose of art, isn't it? To communicate things with other people. So if your intention isn't clear, then I'm not going to say you did a bad job because art is also meant to be interpreted, and so long as you get a reaction out of someone, I think it counts. But the purpose of art is to communicate. And if the thing that you want to communicate is confusion, then that's fine. But I'm not trying to communicate confusion with this piece. My intention with this piece is to communicate love and joy and a feeling of nostalgia and togetherness. And that's the most important part of art, is to decide what you want to communicate and figure out the best way to communicate that. That's what I learned. That's what design is intention. Maybe we don't need that back leg. Yeah, that's fine. There's a little shelf here. There we are. That looks good. Let's bring this in front. Bring this down. Okay, that's good. I think that's good. Bring this out. Make our little shelf work. There you are. That's good. I think that's good. Let's use our little eraser. Oh, and I have to redo some lines because the eraser made some of the ink go up. And that happens sometimes, especially if you don't wait for the ink to dry a lot, because sometimes there's a lot of pencil underneath your ink. It's a bit messy, but I think that'll be... I'll make it look good later. Okay. And this part. And I like to think that the more I do the parts that I don't like about art, like line art and stuff, the better I'll get at it. Because skill takes time to build. And I'm really good at sketching because I've done a lot of sketching. And I'm really good at coloring because I've done a lot of coloring. But I'm not that great at line art yet, even though I've done a decent amount of line art over the years. Aha! There we go. And sometimes things work out. And you can figure out things as you go. And there we go. And this line's really close to the other line, but that's okay. There we go. And there's another good leg on our little booth. And this is fabric, so it's okay if it's a bit wobbly. And bring that over here. And I'm gonna make this line like implied mostly because it's a folded line. There we are. So the fabric is folding over the thing, and those lines can be a little more vague. Blowing on it to make the ink dry faster so we don't have to do it again this time. Oh, we might still have to do it again this time. That's okay. Or maybe not. Maybe it's fine. I think it's nice that the lines are a little bit faded and the more of the distance there is. It's a nice effect. Maybe I think I'll keep it. our first booth, mostly. I've probably got to do a back leg. Where is the back leg? Let's see, it's over here. Let's make our little move here. I ended up not doing this back leg because it's a little off camera, but we need to do this one. Because things have shapes in them. And I want the shapes to, I want this to feel real, kind of. Suspension of disbelief, if you will. So that we can have our thing. And I've always been pretty good at figuring out where hidden lines are. Okay, so I'm actually a little bit worried about this back one. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to find a little ruler. I've got a baby ruler around here somewhere. See if I can find it. If not, that's okay. I can find another straight edge and use that instead. Where is my baby ruler? Ah. Okay. I don't know where that is. That's fine. We can use a different straight edge. That'll work. That works. That, oh wait, no, that's too curved. Never mind. I found a comb. I thought it would work. Maybe it wouldn't. Here's a... Oh, that's fun. A clamp. Let's use a clamp. There's this thing that I do that my dad calls Maeve Givering, because my name is Maeve, and there is this guy in a TV show who would make things out of everyday objects in order to solve problems. And he got very inventive with his solutions. And I do that a lot, even when maybe there's a better tool for the job. And he's like, Maeve, you keep making these weird solutions when you could, oh, oops. When you could have just, This is why sometimes we need the right tool for the job, because sometimes I make mistakes when I'm Maeve Givering. Got a spare line here. I'm gonna use my eraser on this a lot, so that it's more faded. So that it's easier to ignore the fact that I made my line wrong the first time. It's okay. We live, we learn, we do better next time. And I've pretty much run out of this little guy, but that's fine. That'll work. that works. Mm. Okay, let's check the time. Okay. 12:37. Or well, 12:32. Okay. More water. Hydration is important. And more banana. I only ate half of one last time. Let's get back to it. I'm defining this, I think. I'm not going to find the legs as much in the other booth as I did in this one because they're farther away. And details can fade in the background. That's good. That's all. Bananas are good. Yeah. The trees. And this is kind of a cartoony style of trees. Where I'm being a little less detailed with it. Sometimes you want to... Actually, I'll pull this up. So sometimes, like with this cover that I made for TeeBee's Adventures, I had some branches where you can see the individual leaves. But in the back, you can see I just kind of made it blobby and added the texture with my paint. And since these trees are farther away from the camera and this tree is kind of like the whole composition, I did the individual leaves. But with this, I'm going to just have them be blobby and vague and add the texture with my watercolors. And that'll be good and fine. And work. And the Ferris wheel is going to be kind of hidden behind some of the trees. It's a lush green fairground with dirt paths and games to play and people having fun and doing things. And I just realized that the back of this booth is empty. So let's add like a little thing for a fabric sign. Because usually you can't really see the backs of booths. Usually there's like a big fabric sign or something blocking your view of what goes beyond the booth. Or maybe this one has like square things instead of curtains. I feel like curtains are a very specific design choice in your booth. So like, and we want to keep these booths kind of vague so that we can decide what they are later. And I'm like, I'm making little design decisions now because there's some things that I think these booths probably do, but let's add like a little counter in the front of this one. This is one of those booths that's blocked that you don't go inside. Well, maybe the counter is a bit back behind it so that you can have a little bit of an awning. Get some shade from the sun. And it's open to the booth next to it. Booths don't usually do that, but I think maybe these booths are friends. So that we can see the inside of this one. I don't know what exactly this one does. Maybe there's a rack of clothes here or something. Because, like, even if we're leaving the intentions vague, I think that having some details that are in the background add a lot of life to it. So I'm keeping it vague, but I'm adding little differences. There's a booth there. Maybe this is a game booth, like we've got prizes in the back. I'm going to not draw the prizes though, because that's not my part of this job. Because we decided that earlier in a meeting. Because we want to change it later. Maybe. I'm going to add some wood planks back here though. Make it like, you know, like there's stuff, like there could be stuff there. Let's have our legs here. And the next booth over, maybe this one has curtains. Yeah. Maybe it's like a mystic shop or something. I would put curtains on the side here too, because these booths might also be friends. Or maybe they're not. Maybe I can like, yeah, maybe I should leave the insides covered, like they put the curtains down on the side so that they're not distracting these other people. Maybe there's maybe it's a clothes shop or a like, you know, those little booths where you can get stones and fancy little gemstones and stuff. And the lady will say, "This one is healing. If you hold this piece of cool quartz up to your forehead, it can help ease headaches." Which of course it can, because if you put a nice smooth cold thing on your forehead, that's gonna help. I think I believe in a little bit of magic. I like magic as a concept. I like the idea that people can make their own miracles, and that people can make. I'm an artist. Of course, I like the idea that people can make things and that people can change the world with the things that they make and the things that they do. I like that. I like that idea. I also think that it's important to believe in science and stuff. Like to think about the world around you critically and not just to believe everything you hear. And to like research your opinions and make sure that you're making good decisions for yourself. And to listen to your doctors and stuff. Like, and some of the mystic things does work. Like if you like, there are certain herbs and stuff that help with digestion and like sleeping. Like if you have some chamomile tea, that can help you sleep, and that has its roots in magic and stuff, and like those practices. So I think that there is a purpose to, you know, to a lot of it. And like tarot cards. The thing about, I don't think that tarot cards can actually, you know, tell you the future. I think that the purpose of tarot cards is to tell you what you think, you know, what you want the future to be. Because you'll see a card and you'll be told what the meaning of the card is, and you'll in your head think, oh, that means this. But that's not necessarily, you know, the cards themselves telling you what it means. That's you in your own brain finding out what you think it means and what you want it to mean. And I think that's important. It's an important, like, it's good for like a thought exercise. to like help you sort through your own thoughts and stuff. I think it's like therapy. I'm not sure if they can tell the future. I don't think they can. I think that the magic of tarot is a little bit different than that. But if you disagree with me, that's okay. You know, because lots of different people have lots of different opinions in this world, and that's a good thing. I like that different people can think different things about things like this. And also, little gem shops in the state fair are fun anyway, even if the magic isn't real. There's a little bit of magic in your amazement of it, and in how pretty it is, and how like because those stones came from the earth, and you learn a little bit more about the world around you by investigating them and by looking at them and by thinking about what they are. And I think that, you know, depending on your definition of magic, I think that in it of itself is a little bit magical. So I think it's worthwhile. I'm doing little points here, little flags. My iPad was telling me things. Maybe I should put on Do Not Disturb mode on my iPad, because it's right here. There we go. Now we've got Do Not Disturb mode on, and now I won't be interrupted by LinkedIn notifications. I'll do that from now on. I think this is turning out pretty good. I think that we're getting a nice defined scene here. What time is it? 12:44. We're making really good time. Look at us. I think the center of the Ferris wheel is actually here. Or maybe it's like an axle. I think Ferris wheels are axles usually anyway. And we have our little the bars of the Ferris wheel which keep it up. It's like a bicycle wheel, but it has to be strong and sturdy to keep all the people up. Can't just be a big bicycle wheel. But we're gonna think of it like a big bicycle wheel, because there's a lot of inventions are just big bicycle wheels. Like I have a character in my own thing called Various Space, and one of my favorite character in that show, in that comic / show that I'm making, is this character called Punk, and she's a wheelchair user. So I had to figure out how to draw wheelchairs and how to like make wheelchairs move and stuff. And I made some friends on the internet who are actual wheelchair users, and they helped me figure it out. They sent me some wonderful links to things. There's this guy called Wheels 2 Walking who makes really good like beginner wheelchair user tutorials on YouTube. I like him a lot. I've watched it. It's really good for animation reference for me. And one of the things about TeeBee's Adventures is TeeBee's dad, Papa, is a mobility aid user as well. He has crutches that he actually invented himself. He's got a patent on them. And I like them. I think they're a cool design, and it's good for and like he's based on a real person. He's based on my boss's dad, the guy who hired me, his actual dad in real life. But I think he makes a good character because there are lots of people in real life who are like that, you know? Who don't really have a whole lot, who don't get to see themselves in cartoons and stuff a whole lot. So I think it's important to have all kinds of different people in your stories, so that lots and lots of different kinds of people can see themselves in your stories. And that's a big part of why I like disability advocacy, because there's people who are just living their lives, you know? Like, I have ADHD. I'm not ashamed of that. So it's a big part, and like, just having ADHD, it's a big part of how I've ended up living my life. You know, like, it's just an aspect of how I exist. And it can be inconvenient sometimes. But for the most part, you know, I don't mind it. Like, I've got meds. I've got ways that I deal with it. And there's parts of me that I think would not be the same if I didn't have ADHD. My brain didn't work a little bit differently. I wouldn't be as passionate or as thoughtful. And I like being myself. I like who I am. Flaws and all. I think it's time to do more ranking! Yay! Let's bring this cabinet booth counter thing in. And I'm sure you're sitting here, listening to me ramble on, drawing my art, and thinking to yourself, oh, of course she has ADHD. That just makes sense. And to that, I say, cool. I don't actually have a strong opinion on your opinion of me one way or the other. I'm just sitting here, living my life, making my art, making cartoons that I hope that people will like. I hope that kids and maybe some teenagers and grown-ups and stuff will like, because I think that, like, we're making the show for kids, but I think that, you know, a lot of people connect with kids media, and that's good. Because, like, you know, kids are people, and stuff made for kids, like, and we're targeting, like, this is for kids, but I think that a few other people might end up relating to it too. But some people might be invested in it, because, like, I remember when I was a kid and I was looking after my baby sister, and we were watching stuff together, and I got, you know, invested in some of the things that she was watching too, and that's a good thing, you know. I was connecting with her, and I was connecting with the things that she likes, and then I could talk with her more about things like that, like Pingu, and like I forget what it was called, but there was this, I think, Korean show that we watched a lot together that was 3D animated, and there was this little dude. He had a big pink elephant who was one of his best friends, and she was a ballerina. And I liked her a lot. And it was a fun show. It had some silly moments. I liked it. I forget what it was called, though. Usually when you hear people talking about this, they're like, oh, I remember the name, but I don't. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll think of it later. Oh, and Little Einsteins was really good, too. I liked that show. I remember when I was in high school and a bunch of people suddenly got obsessed with Little Einsteins. And I was like, what's going on? Usually I'm the only one who cares about this kind of thing. Me and the people that I babysit. But they were like, no, it's a bop. And I'm like, I mean, you're right. I don't think the Little Einsteins thing will happen to TeeBee's Adventures. Maybe it will. I don't know. I can't predict the future. Sometimes things just happen. I think I'm getting better at line art already. See, I'm always nervous, you know, when I start things, and then I get into it, and it's like, oh, okay, this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Let's have a shelf here. Oh, I messed that shelf up a bit. That's okay. That's fine. It's just how things are sometimes. You just gotta roll with it. Got some drapey fabric here. And there's that Mystic Stones booth, which is what it probably is. I like the Mystic Stones booths. I live in the DC area, so I like going to the Smithsonian's a lot. And my absolute favorite exhibit is the gemology exhibit in the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. And I've always liked that exhibit a lot because a lot of it is about, like, you know, how life on Earth got started. And, like, meteors that come down to Earth and, like, how the Earth formed and how, like, what chemicals were involved and, like, oh, I shook the thing a bit there. Like, what chemicals were involved in the creation of the Earth's crust. And, like, what... Well, I don't just like it because it's pretty colors and shiny, although there's that too. I like it because it's a lot about how life started. And I'm fascinated by that. Rocks are cool. That's what I think. We've got a whole line of booths here. Let's do a time check. It's 12:56. We're making good progress. We've got a whole, like, extra few hours here. I'm almost out of water. I should have probably packed more. I'll have some peanuts. Whoop. I like peanuts. They're good protein. These are honey roasted. So they're extra yummy. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. And now these need more detail too, I think. Or maybe I should use trees. I would ask, what do you guys think? But there's no one here yet. I had a couple people earlier. That's fine. I had a feeling that, you know, there wouldn't be a whole lot of people this first time. And that, like, I'm having to build this up. And that's good, I think. You know, like, people grow and change and get better at what they do over time. And there's something a little bit magical about that. And we're planning on having this be a making of video, but a lot of my commentary here probably won't be included because it's going to be a long live stream. What they're probably going to do is they're probably going to like have it be a speed paint, just like my hands going like real fast on the screen, so you can see everything happening kind of like all at once. And I think that would be cool. Like have a time lapse, that's the word, of me making this background come to life. Let's have the tree line end here, actually, I think. Because then there's like, it goes this way. Or here. That one tree here. But there's like a path back here. I should make the loose end out. And there's like more booths back here. More like stuff that people are doing. And we're basing this off of the North Carolina State Fair because, like, you know, A, it's a good fair. And B, because that's the one that my boss based his story off of. I think he grew up in North Carolina, or at least if he didn't grow up there, he's in that area now. Like, things change, people move. I think maybe I'm gonna ink some trees now. And there's this technique that I'm using right now called scumbling, where you just kind of let your pen do whatever it wants and like add a little bit of shake, and it makes this really nice texture. And if a character has, like, say, textured hair or something, I'll usually just kind of scumble it. TeeBee's hair, usually when I'm illustrating TeeBee's hair, I'll scumble his hair. And I have a character in Fairy Space, Kiddo, who also has scumbled hair. Punk also has curly hair, but I try to be a bit more defined with hers. Because, you know, she's a punk, and she's, like, very... I think that she's, I don't want to say really careful with her appearance, but like, you know, purposefully sloppy. But I think that she likes her hair and she likes taking care of it a little bit. Um, it's like kind of like a half mohawk type style, and curly, but in a, you know, styled way. And it is naturally curly, but it's like, you know, she likes keeping it a very specific shape. Because I think that in her mind, and I relate to this because I just, like, she's like, people are gonna stare at me anyway. Might as well be my choice how I present to the world and how people see me. Like, people aren't just staring at me because of my disability or because I'm acting weird or because of, you know, things that aren't really in my control, but people are paying attention to me because of the things that I choose to control about myself. Like, I can control my style. I can control if I decide to dress in a weird way. Or in an unusual but good way. Like, you know. And if people are paying attention anyway, you know, might as well try to open their horizons a little bit. You're gonna be memorable. And when you're naturally someone who's going to be memorable, I feel like, at least for me, there's this sort of natural inclination to want to make a difference. Like, people pay attention to me anyway because I'm just weird. And that's fine, you know? I've accepted that. And if people are gonna remember me, I might as well give them something worth remembering. Might as well leave a positive impression on their minds, you know? Make them think about themselves. Make them think about the ways that they interact with others. Make a story worth remembering. Maybe this is a little too deep to talk about on a first stream, but that's okay, I think. This is just stream of consciousness. I think we're doing good. I like these trees. Let's bring on our. Well, there's not much left. And I'm glad I'm working on TeeBee's adventures. You know, it's my. I've done animation stuff before. You know, I've been the lead on projects before. Like, I was a like one of many lead animators on Monochrome RPG. But I'm really excited about this because the focus is on mental health awareness and on, you know, it's a children's story. It's a children's television story. And it's going to be on YouTube. But, you know, YouTube is where it's at right now in terms of animation, I think. Got all kinds of good shows on YouTube these days. Because people are free to make their own stuff. To be inventive and creative and to tell messages that they want to tell. And there's something wonderful about that, I think. We've got web comics, and we've got web shows, and we've got all kinds of things these days. You know what? Maybe I should break out my big eraser. Big eraser. Okay. And then once I'm done inking all this, I'm gonna scan it with my big scanner that I've got right here next to me off to the side, and so that we can have line art. And then I'm gonna watercolor it. And the scanning shouldn't take that long. And I can keep talking with you guys through that step of the process. Now it's time for little details. Yeah. I'm not the only creator with ADHD out there. Some of my favorite creators have like ADHD and stuff too. Like Dan Povenmire, creator of Phineas and Ferb, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And like Dav Pilkey, creator of the Captain Underpants, which I loved the books as a kid. The Flipporamas actually sort of kind of got me into like that. I made a few of my own Flipporamas as a kid. These little two frame like flip it animations. And I think that I'm not going to say that's where all of it started, because, you know, there were a lot of people telling me, oh, you can't be an animator. That takes so much patience and hard work. And I was like, patience and hard work? Oh, no, I've got ADHD. I can't do that. But then I grew up and I saw animation college student stuff on the internet. And I was like, wait a minute. I can do that. And then I started, you know, studying it and stuff. I think this is a carousel back here. And now that I'm an adult, I know a lot of people who are. I think that a like solid at least like 40% of the people at my art school had ADHD as well. Because there's something about like you get bored, you know. Boredom is the enemy when you have ADHD. You always have to have something that's keeping your brain going, because otherwise you'll just stop. And that's terrible. So, and art is something that you can do that anywhere. If you have a sketchbook and some pencils, if you plan ahead and bring the things that you need to do it, you can do that anywhere. And people usually don't try to stop you, you know, especially if you're good at it. And I think that, and like, because it's like kind of your go-to thing that you can do when you're stuck somewhere. I think that a lot of people just got a lot of practice in that way. Because you can always pull out a sketchbook and make some nice little doodles for yourself and make some fun characters that you like. And these are going to be some very blobby carousel animals back here, because it's in the background and people might not even see it. but that's okay because I like it. I think it's fun that there's a carousel back here. Even if it's secret, you guys will know. The people watching this video, you'll see the carousel that I'm making right now. And I think it's a fair. Fairs have carousels. It's like a standard fair. Maybe I should look up carousel. Maybe I should see what one actually looks like. Go into my little bar here and type carousel. Oh, that's what they look like. Okay. A bit more detailed than I thought. Let's add that. It's good to look up references because sometimes you have things that you think things look like, but then you're like, oh wait, no, I was wrong. You gotta go out into the world and see the real world, see the real life. Learn. See what it's actually like. Oh, that looks better. I like that. I think I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter. No, I think I liked it better taller. Let's add more trees. More trees. Trees are good. I like trees. Trees are our friends. Yeah, nice texture to a background. Like if a scene feels empty to you and you don't know what to do with it, trees. Everywhere could use more trees. I guess unless it's like a sci-fi, space station or something, but even then, they gotta get their oxygen from somewhere. Oh, this is looking good. I like where this is going. I have some a little higher shelf here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is like 5 tents in a row. And this is like a few more tents in a row. This is like a very small alleyway. Like there's probably another tent like right here. Time check. 1:15. That needs to be longer. That's why I'm doing this here. Well, the tree line is lower here than it is here because it's like the perspective is different. I think this is turning out really good. I like this. I like how this is turning out. Let's take our little carousel while we've still got our reference up. Can't see my head. I just checked, but I'm leaning in real close to the picture.
yeah. Let's add those blobby little animals. We're not putting too much detail into these because they're in the background and I'm not sure if people will even see them anyway. And also horses are a pain to draw. Like, we have socially accepted shorthands for horses these days because, like, Lauren Faust made the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and that, like, she simplified the characters a lot to make them easier to animate. So we have, like, accepted short, and, like, a lot of people adopted that same shorthand for horses. But they're still tricky to draw. So, and this is in the background, and I think it's nice that the blobby animals work. And I'm adding some stuff here. There we go. That's a nice carousel. And it's so far in the back you can't even see it. That's how. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up closer to the webcam. You still can't see it that well. It's not that good a webcam. That's okay. We're learning. Maybe I'll invest in a slightly better webcam later on. Who knows? Probably at some point. Maybe I'll get like a camera. I have a camera, but it's a little bit broken. I might take it to a shop to get it fixed. Doing more scumbling. I like scumbling. It's also fun to say scumbling. And it's a good technique for art stuff. You know, like if you need texture anywhere. And I'm being a bit looser with the booths here because I think most of them are going to be covered up by TeeBee and his dad. Probably. I'm doing these like slightly looser booths. I think there's more room for invention on these ones than there were in these ones. Like you'll see more of these because TeeBee is right here and he's smaller, but his dad's gonna be like right here, so he's gonna take up a lot of the space. I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun? I hope you are. It's always important to have some fun whenever you're doing art, because like if you're not enjoying it, then why are you doing it, you know? Even if it's for a job, you gotta find like ways to enjoy the little things that you do in your everyday life. And I know for me personally, if I don't get to make art, I go a little bit insane. Like I like being able to get things, and I can be in a situation where I don't have to do art, you know, but I kind of sort of have to have something else that's happening if that's the case. Like if I'm going to an event with my friends or family. And even then sometimes I'll bring things to do just in case. Got a little bit of grass here. It's a patchy grass. It's a patchy dirt road. That adds a bit more flavor. It's probably like you know those Find the Duck games? This is probably one of those that I'm drawing right now. Like where you have to toss a ping pong ball. There's some shells up here. For like prizes probably. And on to the next booth. That was a bit shaky, so I'm gonna put a curtain here. No, like it's fabric, it's fine. Fabric is a little loosey-goosey like that sometimes. Or maybe this is the stones shop. Maybe it's a different kind of magic-holy shop. The magic shops are always the prettiest too. Like they have the coolest stuff. Or maybe this is like the fair that I go to, the Renaissance Festival that I go to, has like this shop where you can get like fake wood weapons. And I really like that. It's one of my favorites in that. So maybe this is what that is. It used to be called the Black Swan Armory when I was a kid, but then they changed it to something else. I forget what. I like Black Swan Armory though. It's more elegant. I think it's like Adventures or something or other. Oh, this shelf isn't long enough. Let's fix it. Let's bring it down to the ground. And add a few more lines here so that adds it. Okay. Woo! We're going good. Scumbling. Scumble, 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 scumble. Let's do some more scumbling up here. Add some texture. Yeah! It's looking phenomenal, I think. Well, let's shake it out. This part would look terrible in a speed thing. In one of those God, I had the word earlier. Time somethings. Where the footage is going faster. Time lapse. Time lapse. That part where I was shaking it out would look terrible in a time lapse. Maybe we should cut that part out of the time lapse if we make it, so we don't have it go rah. That'd be bad. Actually, I think I'll leave those lines there because there's like shade, right? Big eraser, doing big eraser things. Time check.
1:27. We're making good time. Get some of these smudges out. Okay. So now I think it's time to, you know, I think maybe the balloon should be one of those props that get put in later. So I'm actually going to erase that. Because then we can like decide where it goes when we decide where the rest of the things go, like the characters and whatnot. I'm going to erase these cloud lines because I think the clouds will look better if we don't outline them. If we just like make it part of the sky being blue with some white spots in it. This is all looking really good. I think we're almost done with line art. Okay, so let's pull up our pictures again. And I'm gonna pull up the spacer again so that I can see how to make this Ferris wheel. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a sign that says we'll be right back and go to the bathroom and get some water for our watercoloring. Oh, pencil, why is your lead so long? There we go. Maybe I should render. I don't think like I've just kind of made these booths as little circles for now, but let's add a bit more detail to them. Let's make it like this little top, and then on the bottom we have this like little basket. There's like a door there. Oh, but that would be smaller than that, wouldn't it? I think that looks nice. Or maybe I should just keep them ovals. I keep wanting to say, what do you guys think? But you guys aren't here yet. I'm talking to you from the past.
It's a form of time travel, you see. Okay, I think I'm going to just add a bit more detail than I did at first. Instead of doing all the detail, I'm just going to do a little bit. It's like a triangle-y thing and a roundy thing. There we go. Let's make this a little more narrow to match the others, to match his friends. It can be fun to like if you're doing a group cosplay or something, to dress up like your friends together. It's also fun when you each have like your own thing going on though. Like she keeps, my girlfriend keeps joking that we never look like we're going to the same event. And I think that's fun. Okay. I actually think I need to stop looking at this for a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have right here I think I'll have an actual sign or a graphic or something for this next time. But I need to go to the bathroom. Oh, you can't see that well, can you? Let's make a better graphic than that. That's too subtle. Let's grab a piece of paper from another sketchbook. This'll work. Or let's just have the sketchbook be open right here and have this like just kind of here. And then let's have a big, do I have a big marker? Big marker. Big marker. There we go. There. And you can, there we go. I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to I'll be right back after these messages, except there aren't any messages. Hold on. What?
Dinner at my parents' house 7:30. And if you want to come with me to the haircut, we're leaving at 2:15.
Cool.
And I'm back. Hello, everyone. Did you miss me? I don't think anyone is watching right now, but there will be people later, I think, who watch this. Okay. I hope you're getting all this. And okay, that's the works. Step 1. Let's erase that message. Because we are right back now. Okay. Look at all that progress we've gotten done so far. And let me pull up my references. There we go. Now let's see what we can do about this Ferris wheel. And our time check, 1:39. We're making good time. I'm going to see if I can finish this by 2 or 2:30. I think in order to do that, hold on. Actually, I'm going to see if I can find a better straight edge than our clamp with. And I'm also going to bring a very special guest. This is my punk model, and I'm bringing her here so I can look at her wheels. Put her right there. I'm going to tilt her a bit so that, there we go, yeah. Now I can see what kind of thing I'm doing here. And it's good to have a live reference sometimes. Because then you can see in real, because humans, most of us have depth perception. And that changes how we see the world versus how a camera might see the world. Because cameras usually only have one lens, and we have two. So we can see a lot more than a camera can. Which can sometimes be frustrating if you're trying to capture something on a camera. Okay. And I'm going to use this as a straight edge this time. I'm going to use my pencil first just to make sure it'll work. Yeah. And it's good to use as many little tricks as you can. Because art can be, oh, sorry, hon. There you are. Art can be hard sometimes. Oh, she wants to be like that. Okay. That's fair. I'm going to leave her there.
So it's good to use as many tricks as you can. And don't be ashamed, you know? There's no shame, there's never any shame in needing tricks or needing to learn new things. Because we're always learning, every day. That's just how we work. You know? And I think that's one of the main things about TeeBee's adventures is that he's always learning new things every day. And he's always, like, sometimes it's hard to deal with the fact that you don't know everything. And that's fine, you know, you just gotta, we're growing. And like, you know, every show for kids is a little bit about that, but I think that grown-ups should learn that too. That it's okay to admit that you don't know everything. That it's okay, that it's good, and it's good even to let yourself learn new things. We're always growing and changing and seeing the world in slightly different ways every day. Because we meet people. And we learn things, and we experience the world. And like how there's the weather's a little bit different every day. People are a little bit different too. With me, I'm learning that this is too much this way. It should go this way more. Oh, that should probably be a bit higher. And see, I'm changing the shape of my thing because I realized, wait a minute, this goes here. And this goes here. Shape of it is different than I expected it to be. That's good. You're learning. I'm learning anyway. I hope you're learning something too from all this. Okay. Okay. There's my Ferris wheel lines. Yay! He's got, and I think we're almost ready to start watercoloring because I've lined everything except for my Ferris wheel. Now it's time to give the Ferris wheel some ink. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. And this one's going out of frame, so we don't need to draw the little guy over there. I think this Ferris wheel might be turning out a little bit sloppy. That's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm just so eager to get to the actual watercolor stage of this process. And maybe being a little too excited about it. Maybe rushing a bit. Because we're so close, you guys. Okay. And now for the circle part of it. This is going to be a bit tricky. Oh, we're doing it. We're making this happen. Huzzah! We've got a Ferris wheel. Now for the inner wheel. Well, that's a bit messed up. That's okay. I probably shouldn't have drawn that part. Maybe there's a way to fix it. Maybe if we were like add a detail here. Looks a bit more Ferris wheel. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Now to erase so it's faded a bit. I'm going to make sure that we get any spare stray pencil lines. Okay, time check. 1:54. We can do this, you guys. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream here and then come back tomorrow, and next time we're going to watercolor it. So see you tomorrow for part 2.